So now that we have that, at every point in time, we are going to be performing some action. So when you perform a particular action, you emit an event. So anytime you carry out an action, you conduct an action in smart contract, you emit the event. So now let's define our events. So the first event is that delivery, the shipment to be created. So, and when the shipment is created, so this is an event for shipments created. So when the shipment is created, what do you want to do? You want to have the assigned integer, which will be assigned integer, which we want it to be indexed. So that will be indexed, meaning that you can't have two repeated value. So we are going to be having the shipment ID, and also we want to have the address. So this is what will be emitted, which will also be indexed. So we can use this to call this particular shipment. So we can use the shipment ID, or also we can use the seller to call the shipment. So that's why we are using it as index, and also unsigned integer 256. Let's set that as price. Unsigned integer 256. So that will be the price. So now that we have that, so this is a particular event which will be emitted once the shipment has been created. Now, for the second event is when shipment has been picked up. Shipment has been picked up. So when the shipment has been picked up, you can see the three events: created, picked up, delivered. So when the shipment has been created, what are the values you want to emit? What are the values you want to emit with the event? So that will be unsigned integer 256, which will also be our index, meaning that you can call the particular shipment with that. So I'll just say shipment ID again, unsigned integer, and also the address. You also want to use the address of the logistic provider also as this. So now this is the second event that can be emitted. Now let's come to the last one, you guess it correctly, which is the shipment delivered. Yeah, shipment delivered. So for this, we want to have unsigned integer 256 indexed. This will be the shipment ID. And just copy this. So once you have that, then you also have the address indexed receiver. So, and the next one is also the string, which will be the dates of the delivery. So we want to get dates that shipment was completed. So now we have defined our variables, the state variables. Then we have also defined the events that will happen once an action is performed in our smart contract. Now let's go ahead and create our function. Let's go ahead and create our function. So function is just a code block that can be reused and reused again. So now we have our code block. So now let's define our function. The first function I want to define is a function that allows us to create delivery. Now take note of the fact that this particular event, you can write it like this. You can write it all on the same line. Just that it's good to put it on a separate line for better readability. So this is still correct, and put it on one line. So but it's good for you to, so don't forget you terminate one line with semicolon. So Solidity will know that this is actually a line that is established from this place. So it will see line. Let me just finish cleaning up first. So it will see line 32 to line 36 as one line, because this is where you are terminating the line. So